Y'all, this room is hilarious. Oh my gosh, it's so massive.
It's awesome, and it's all for us.
Hi.
All right, well, welcome.
Good morning. I'm Jade. It's nice to meet you.
Brittney, nice to meet you.
Elgin, hi, nice to meet you. All
I
right.
can barely see you because of the lights.
Yeah.
It's okay. They're out there. They're out there somewhere. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
How's your weekend been so far?
So far, so good.
Awesome.
Sorry, I'm distracted. This mic is red on the inside.
I know, isn't that nice? Like, nice
That's
little
so cool.
detail.
Yeah, so far, so good. Richmond, the weather has been lovely.
Yes, the weather's pretty. It's
It
a fun
is.
place to be for spooky time.
Yeah, I think the last time we were together for one of these was in Des Moines for Animate X Nightmare Weekend.
Oh.
So it was us two, and then also I think it was Jamie Markey and one other actress from Fairy Tail.
That was last year, right?
That was last year, yeah.
Yeah.
And I believe that was like your first understanding of what a crossover event was.
Yes,
Yeah, so
indeed.
now that you've kind of gotten a better understanding of it, are you enjoying it?
Well, I especially freaked out because Giorgio Tsoukalos is here.
Yes, I get to speak to him later.
And I'm a huge fan, and so I went and met him yesterday, and he was so lovely, and so that I was super grateful for the crossover in that way.
Yeah.
Because his genre kind of bleeds into like the mystery, spooky things, and that's what's always fun about these events. You never know who you're going to get to see and who you're going to get to meet, and that was very exciting. I loved meeting him.
So you're a big fan of like Ancient Aliens and stuff like that?
Huge fan. Like I've been to their live show. I told him all of that, and then normally my husband's with me, and like he's a huge fan too. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're not here this time to meet him. So he did a live phone call with me and my husband, who was
Oh,
so
that was so
sweet.
nice of
Yeah, he did like a FaceTime call with us. It was so great. But yeah, I love Ancient Aliens, and we've seen the live tour, and we kind of watch it every night when we go to bed.
Oh,
We've seen
wow.
it many times. We love it. I'm a huge fan.
That's
yeah.
awesome. What about you, Brittney? Are you into anything like that? Conspiracy theory, aliens, all that stuff? No?
I don't watch that. I don't watch that much TV, to tell you the truth. I can't sit still. I just, yeah. When I'm home, I have to do things.
Yeah, I think I remember you saying that you like to watch like, I don't know, like crime dramas and
I
stuff
like
like that.
forensic files.
Forensic
I got
Files,
so loud
yes,
about that. I'm
Forensic
like,
Files. Yeah. So have you been watching any of the new like documentary, little mini docuseries that are coming out, like the Ed Gein one and all that stuff?
seen it.
Yeah, did you like it?
I did like it.
Oh my God,
I
it's so
did
crazy,
like
those
it.
shows. It's cool to learn about the behind the scenes backstories of what really happened, you know what I mean?
It's terrifying.
It is
It's
terrifying.
so terrifying.
To know that these people like exist out there in the real world, you know, it's scary. It makes you not want to go out at night.
He was very broken.
True.
He would have benefited from, mental health.
Remind me who that is.
Ed Gein.
I've heard that name.
He was a serial killer that started by digging up graves and wearing people's faces and having
Oh,
dead bodies in his house. But
lovely.
then we believe he never admitted to eating people, but we think he ate people because there was a pot that had a heart in it. But he also had like body parts in weird places and like a refrigerator of female organs. And they found a person from the store that was like butchered like a deer in the barn. And anyway, is that okay to say that?
No, it's Nightmare Weekend. We could
Nightmare.
totally talk about this type of stuff here. This is
like, oh, sorry.
very appropriate. They're like, we want to talk about the power of friendship. No, we're going to talk about serial killers.
Talk about the documentary is really interesting. Charlie Hunnam is Ed Gein, and it does a terrific job.
Yeah, I love how they really went in, did the prosthetics, made him look like Ed Gein. Have you ever done any live action stuff like that, like on camera? And would you be down to do prosthetics and crazy stuff like that?
I haven't done a lot of on camera. I think I would be down, but it is crazy because I love behind the scenes stuff too. Like for any of my favorite movies and films, and seeing how long sometimes they
Have to
sit in
there,
that chair
yeah.
and do all of that just for one day of shooting, to take it all off and then to do it again. But it is, it's a labor of love, and I'm sure it's it's worth it to get to be part of these massive studio films to do that. So I guess all that to say, if it were really like good people doing it, because I have been a part of projects that were like, it's maybe not worth it.
Same.
Yeah.
But I've had like not prosthetics necessarily, but I did when I did Starving Games, they had a rig that like they were throwing daggers into my back, so the rig would pop the daggers out.
Oh, that's cool.
But unfortunately, it was in Louisiana in the summer, and I was wearing like 7 layers and winter clothes, and we didn't. It was like overtime. Like we sat out there for 12 hours with the rig on, and then they wanted to shoot after that. So it was honestly
brutal.
Torture. It was torture. It was so hot, and I was dizzy at this point, and it was like there's not an amount of food that I can eat from craft services to make this okay, because I was just so hot, and yeah. But,
so did that experience leave you like with a bad taste in your mouth, like something you wouldn't want to do again, or under the right circumstances you'd consider it?
That was my last film, actually.
Oh, really?
But I was doing anime already at the time.
Yeah.
And it just took up so much time to go to the callbacks and go to the fittings, and like it was in Louisiana, so I have to travel that way. I have to do, and it was just you don't get paid for the fittings, and you don't get paid for the lighting time, and you don't get paid for. So in the end, it was like I think I'm gonna do anime and video games because the hurry up and wait wasn't my favorite part.
Yeah, that is a big part of it, sitting around waiting, and then all of a sudden it's like, let's go, 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 go. And it's like, I've just been sitting here for 8 hours. I'm tired, I'm bored. And then they want you to be on set for the same amount of time.
And then they're like, okay, but you're crying, so cry.
Yeah. That's what I've been doing in the trailer the whole time, waiting for you to pick me up.
Yeah, but I've been crying for 8 hours now. So it could be fun. I guess it depends also. Like, I did a movie with Chris Evans, and that was amazing because Chris Evans was in the movie.
What was that film?
Puncture.
And did you get to work
Houston.
directly across from him?
I did. I drove him around in a Bronco doing fake cocaine.
Nice.
Which is baby laxative, and it burns. And we were spilling it everywhere.
Yeah.
It was going everywhere.
Yeah, it is not fun. I also had to do some fake cocaine for like a play that I was in, and that was like one of my main character traits. Is like I would always try to get, because it was like an interactive play. It's Tony and Tina's wedding, so it's like interactive, and you try to like mingle and mix with the guests. And my main thing is like I'm trying to sell these fake baggies to everybody, and doing bumps off of bald people's heads and stuff. And then by the end of the run, I was just like my nose was destroyed. It was the worst. I should have just done the real thing at that point.
I don't know what I was thinking, but like we were driving around. I had to drive the Bronco in one scene, and the other scene was in a parking garage where like the only thing stopping you from driving off into the abyss in this parking garage in Houston was like one of those metal cables. So I don't know why, but I looked at him and I had not met him, and I was like, "Your life is in my hands." And then they were like, "Action!" And he went, and it was pretty funny. I was like, I don't know why I did that. I'm sorry. I couldn't help it.
He was like, okay, she's weird. That's hilarious. I love that. I have some questions for you, obviously, and then we will see if anyone in the audience has some questions. The first thing I'm going to ask is, you've both been a part of anime dubs for over a decade now. What's something about modern dubbing culture that still surprises you even after all this time?
Modern dubbing culture.
Well, obviously, like, you've seen things change in the industry in terms of like the technology improving, and for instance, like recording getting quicker, or them being able to edit things on the fly and things like that. How have you grown and evolved in that process? It's too early on Sunday for this type of deep questions, Elgin.
I think I've maybe been asked this before, and I'm just gonna give the same answer because it's all I can think of with my brain this morning. And it's just the titles of the anime. Those continue to surprise me. You think they wouldn't, but every once in a while I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. They're so long and so descriptive, especially the isekai ones. They crack me up.
The longest one that we ever worked on, we both worked on it, and the guy brought up something yesterday that was signing for that, and it was, what are you doing at the end of the world? Are you busy? Will you save us? And that was the name of the anime, was that entire name.
Wow.
Are you busy? Will you save us?
No, what are you doing at the end of the world? Are you busy? Will you save us? Was the whole name of the anime. And I thought that time I got reincarnated as a slime.
I was just going to say, yeah, That's odd, yeah. Really odd choice for an anime name. And even just trying to explain it to somebody, it's like, get it over with already. It's so long. All right, here we go. Between the two of you, who breaks more during recording and who ruins the most takes?
Brittney.
For sure. Oh, definitely. It's got to be me.
Yeah.
I'm a goofball, so I think that I'm like any chance that I get to put a fart joke in or
She's giggly.
yeah.
She's real
I
giggly.
giggle a lot. I do. But I also feel I don't take too long in the booth or anything. We still finish on time, but if I get a chance to do a joke, I've had to I have to realize or figure out if the director is A-okay with that or not. So sometimes I'll just, STFU because I'm like, this person doesn't enjoy this. They're just trying to get the job done, and then I'll just be like, shh. And especially when I'm recording a video game and I don't necessarily know the director, I even whisper my responses because it's always like a lagged source connect time, and your response can come in while they're talking, and a director does not appreciate being interrupted with crap, or like a giggle or something. And so I'm always just like, yes, thank you. Yes, I'll do that. 2 takes, A and B. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I got more. Here we go. What's something deeply unglamorous about the job that nobody warned you about?
The pop screen is disgusting.
Oh, yeah, it smells.
Well, okay, they're not at Crunchyroll because they clean them.
Do they use the foam ones or the metal ones?
Both.
Both.
Okay.
Or not foam, they're like pantyhose kind
Yeah,
of.
right, but
yeah.
I feel like that one, it picks up more scent than the metal ones
Yeah,
whenever
I
I'm, you
think-
know what I mean? Like and they don't spray them.
They do it Crunchy now after
I
those-
feel like all the ones at Crunchy are metal now.
And they
but
clean
yeah,
them. Somebody
yeah.
actually, it's their job to sanitize in between.
In between.
As they
yeah.
should.
Yeah, but other studios, most studios, and before that, that was not the case. Yeah. I've been to studios where I'm like, did the last person who recorded eat beef jerky while they were recording? Like, how is... And also, I'll get really into it and sometimes move too much, and I've licked one before, and it was like, have you ever seen Me, Myself, and Irene when he's in the bathtub?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little bit germophobic in the sense that I don't like to touch things, and I'll always catch myself. Even if I'm on an escalator and I touch the hair, I'm like, oh, why did you touch that? Why did you touch that? I'm immediately getting out my hand sanitizer. I hate it. But yeah, I've also experienced that pop shield. That is terrible. All right, here we go. If Fairy Tail wasn't reimagined as a live-action sitcom, who from the voice cast would steal every scene, and who would get written up by HR first?
I feel like Happy would steal every scene. I wonder how they would live action that, if they would make it a real cat or do the things where they do now where it's just a lot of CGI kind of stuff, but still it would look more like a real cat talking or something. I don't know. And then what was the second part? Who would
get written up by HR first?
As a character?
I would assume maybe the actor. I don't know.
Oh, the act? Oh, I don't want to. Yeah, that's no. As a character, I'm more comfortable.
So let's do that. Also, here, as a character, edit that out. As a character.
Man. Oh, I can't think of his name. The guy with the crazy looking square face. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, it would be him. He's a perv.
Ichi something?
Yeah.
Gosh, what's
He's
his name?
super pervy.
I
The
can't
square
think of
head and the knobby nose.
Yeah, I can't think of his name. Sorry, there's so many names in Fairy Tail.
Him or the butt jiggle gang.
Yeah.
Because they actually go on your nose and fart on your nose.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
disrespectful.
It's called triple butt ecstasy.
Triple butt ecstasy. Wow. I don't know if I'd call it that.
That's what they did.
Wow. That's a quick way to get pink eye.
It was a filler episode, but I thought it was really fun.
It was funny. It was so funny.
All right, here's another one. Okay, so you both work as directors and actors, yeah? So
I am not a director.
No,
Just
you've
an
never
actor.
directed before?
I have never directed.
Oh my goodness. All righty, so then Jade, this is for you.
Okay.
When you're in the booth, how do you turn off that director brain and just play again?
Sometimes I can, honestly, and sometimes I can't. But I mean, I prefer to because I just let go and let God is kind of my thing. I'm like, this is you, whatever you want. Because I want to relax and just play, like you said. I don't want to like be thinking about a billion other things. So I do my thing, and then while the other stuff is going on, I just kind of chill and relax and like lightly pay attention, but I'm not like overthinking like all of that kind of things. Because it is like once you've done both, the acting is, to me, easier. So I prefer to just kind of, play and have a good time and not worry about all the other millions of things you worry about as a director.
All right. And then, Brittney, you say you've never directed. Have you ever considered it, or is it something that you may transition into later on?
There are a couple, actually, there's 2 studios that have offered for me to direct because I've been directed so long that they think that I could do that. I don't know. I feel like it's easy for me to tell myself what to do in the booth, but I don't know if I could vocalize what I want from another actor. I just don't know if I have that skill to tell someone else how to act. And so I never did it because I just didn't think that I had that skill. But also I enjoy acting.
Right.
And I found that sometimes people that are directing are limited on their acting, and I don't want to be limited. I just want to act.
That's a great answer. Yeah, you know what you love and you want to stick to that. That's awesome. You know where your strength is. All right, here we go. All right, after doing hundreds of characters, what's one role you still think about sometimes, not because it was your biggest, but because it stuck with you in a personal way?
Oh, in a personal way. I mean, and this answer comes up a lot, is Yuki from Wolf Children. That movie, it's a moment I hosted a film. It just meant so much to me, like the whole aspect of recording, the way that we released it, and the character itself. It did kind of have some like, it hit home for me a little bit kind of in ways with like the losing of the father type aspects of it. And it's just such a sweet, sweet story. So yeah, that one I remember a lot.
The last show that I did with Chris Ayers, with him directing, was School Live. And I think about it because it was the last time he directed me, but he started directing me when I was 14. And I wouldn't be in this industry if it wasn't for him. And he was one of my best friends. And so I think about the last time he directed me because he was so passionate about that. And once he got sick, he wasn't able to do that anymore. But he treated every show like a gold, even if it wasn't a show that might have popularity or they didn't think was going to get marketed, or everything that he ever touched as a director, he took seriously, and it was a big thing for him. And I loved a director that would do that, because there are directors that you can watch their soul leave their body as they direct it, and they spend the whole time just making fun of the show that they're doing. And it's not as fun, because you want to be invested in the character and the project, even if it's silly, or even if it's boobies, or even if it's whatever it is. I enjoyed that about Chris, and it didn't matter what the project was. He loved it, and he treated it like, I mean, we always laughed, and we were like, you like to put gold buttons on peanut butter statues, but that's what he did. And so I remember that show the most because it was the last thing I saw him direct in.
Do you feel like that's a quality that you imprinted on you, that was like kind of handed down? Do you also give that same amount of love and integrity and dedication to the projects that you're in because of that?
I do think that I do that. I take everything, even the smallest role that I've ever had, I treat like it's important, because it's an honor to be able to do this. And if you ever think that it isn't, or that you didn't, like, that you earned it in some way, nobody really earns this, And so anything, even if it's a bit part, even if I'm a cucumber or I don't care. Like, anything is important.
I want to be a cucumber.
I've been all kinds of things, man.
Honestly,
I'll burp in the background.
those things are sometimes like so random and exciting and fun. Even if they only do 1 or 2 things, you're like, oh my gosh, you do get excited because you're like, I've never done that before. I don't know. They can be really silly and fun, even if they're small.
Yeah. Like, even if there's like your character's about to die, you're like, but I get to do a death scene.
Yeah.
Or like I did a game where they had a stunt burper, and I was like, I am burping my own burps, excuse me. Because that used to be on my resume. My acting resume is that I can burp on command.
That's something I can never do.
You just breathe in air.
I know, but I just can't do it. Like, you know
It's
how
just
you
you
like
straight up
swallow
breathe in
the
air, and
then I just can't do
You
it.
want me to do it? It's super gross.
Yes, let's do it. They're all gonna
You
love
want me
it.
to do it? It's super gross.
Yeah,
I
do
learned
it.
this in my high chair. My uncle taught me. There's a video.
Yay! That was good.
Wow.
That was awesome.
I can do that.
That's incredible.
All right, Jade, your turn.
No.
It can give you the hiccups if you do it too much. Because you're
Gotcha.
reading an air over and over again. Your body's like, oh, are we doing hiccups? Okay.
Okay, here we go. If you could go back to your first year in voice acting and give yourself one brutally honest piece of advice, what would it be?
That even though acting is super important to you, it can't be your whole life. You have to have other things that matter and that are important. You have to have hobbies. You have to have things that make you happy outside of this, because if you have all of your happiness just wrapped up in acting, it's a lot of no's. And there's going to be people that don't think you're good, and you're never going to make them happy, and that's okay. But you don't have that security if all you care, if the only validity you get in life is acting, then that breaks people. I've met those people, and that's all that matters to them. You have to have something else that makes you happy.
I think I would, I mean, not that baby Jade would take this advice, but I would try to give it. She was just to be able to like leave whatever happened in the booth, because I would take a lot of anxiety home and like worry about that I was terrible or this or that and the other, you know, because I mean, you're really learning a lot in those first few years of doing it. And so it can be overwhelming, but I mean, to just kind of take it as it comes and have fun and enjoy it more and like worry less, but she wouldn't have listened.
Yeah,
So
I don't think anybody
it would have been
listen
lost on
to
her.
our older
Sweet
selves.
baby Jade.
So yeah, let's talk about the work-life balance. What are some of the things that you do outside of work that kind of helps you stay grounded, like whatever it be hobbies or family life, or what are some of the things that you do like to do outside of acting?
Well, I'm a mommy. I love to be a parent to my kids. I also garden, which is dorky, but I really like it.
I'm a cat mom. I love my cats and my husband. And yeah, just spending time with family and friends, like just chill stuff. I love to rot on my couch looking at
Yes.
TikTok and, you know, just relax. I do love travel. That's why I love coming to these events, because it's always fun to see what's around in an area you've never been to or that you have been to, but you haven't explored other things. Like we went on a little ghost tour last night, and just different things like that, you know. I don't know.
What was that like? A ghost tour here in Richmond?
Yeah.
So did they take you to like historical sites and tell you stories? Did anybody were there any jump scares involved?
No jump scares, thank goodness. I don't like those. Yeah, just
Not
a
a
lot
haunted
of
house person.
a lot of history of different things, of spooky things, and then yeah, some ghost stories mixed in with that.
That sounds like fun. I would definitely go on a ghost tour. I love that. Let's see if we have any questions from the audience. Anyone out there have a question about Fairy Tale or any of the voices that they've done in the past? Anyone out there? You look like you have a question. No? What about you two back there? What about you right here, sir? No? What about you over there, ma'am? No? All
That's
right.
okay.
Yeah, you don't have, it's
That's
okay.
okay.
If you don't want to ask your question here, of course, you can ask them down at their tables. That's totally fine. Let's talk about Fairy Tale a bit. It's been out for a while now, and I mean, you guys have been traveling, pretty much promoting the show for a long time. What is something that you feel, why do you feel like it's resonated with fans for so long?
Because it's a power of friendship. And everybody can identify with that. Found family, you know?
Yeah, just wild, crazy adventures with wild, crazy characters that they really spend time on, kind of the core ones and like their relationships. Yeah, I think that's why it stayed. I think it also appeals to all ages and families, and I think that's something that has made it like multi-generational, because we'll meet people who are like, I grew up watching it and now I'm showing it to my kids and their kids are watching it. And it's one that you'll want to rewatch and show to your children and share in their experience with it too. We meet a lot of people who have watched it many, many times. It's just like a comfort show for them. So I think that's why it's kind of had a lasting presence.
You mentioned, sharing it with children. Have you? Are your kids at the age that they can appreciate your work? Have you started to share your work with them yet?
Have you?
Not a whole lot.
Okay.
I also do all kinds of anime genres.
Right.
And so I haven't opened that can yet because I just want them to be a little older because once they open the can, the can's open.
Yeah.
Well, are they aware? I mean, I'm sure they're aware of what you do, but you haven't introduced them to any of your projects. If you were, what do you think is going to be the gateway to Brittney Karbowski's career? What are you going to show them first?
They have seen things, of course.
Okay.
Like they've seen clips and pieces and stuff, but we don't like sit around and watch whole shows together or anything. There's always like, I don't do very many shows that don't have fan service. So, you know, I guess Fairy Tale would be one
that'd
that
be a
I could
good
start with. And Wendy's a good role model. So I think I could do that for sure.
That's awesome. What about your cat babies? What are you going to show them?
Well, I did a show called My Roommate is a Cat, which is so cute. I think they would like that one.
What did you play in that one?
The cat.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I played the cat named Haru. It's got some like darker elements to it in that like the main character is like going through like grief and loss, and that's why he gets a cat. But it has this sort of like split episodic style where you see everything from his point of view of the cat and like not understanding what the cat wants or needs. Like they can't communicate like some other fantasy kind of style shows. But then the second half of the episode, you will hear all the cat's mental thoughts and like her perspective of what's happening. Like, why is my human doing this? Why is my human doing that? Like, why is my human not eating the food that I bring him, the rats that I bring? You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. So it's really cute and sweet. I like it.
All right. So, you know, both of you as voice actors, and, you know, just as an actor in general, we love to work. We love that, just to have work, just the blessing of being afforded the opportunity to work is a blessing. But do you guys have any particular choices in terms of how you choose your work, or any characters or projects that you're necessarily more drawn to other than other ones? Does that make sense?
I'll audition for anything that comes my way, unless there's like a vocal type that I'm like, I cannot sustain that, or I'm not capable of that. But sometimes even those I'll try. I'll be like, well, I'll throw spaghetti at the wall on this one. But I'm not super picky. I just like playing. I like doing it. So I think it would have to be something really, I don't know. I don't love the horror stuff so much, but I've just directed a show where I had to get really used to watching it over and over and over, because that's what I was directing. It was called Clevitus, and it had like bone crunching, crackling, like horrible like things were happening to these poor people. So I can still do it. Just sometimes I'm like, ew, this troll is eating this girl and then vomiting her up, and I'm like, okay, I don't know, you know?
All right. What about you, Brittney?
Like, if I have to choose on sides, if there is a little boy, I'm always going to audition for that. Even if I might not even be in the age, like, even if they're going to probably hire a man for it, I'm still going to probably try. But I don't necessarily read for really young girls. My voice is pretty trash, so I don't think that I can do that convincingly anymore. But I definitely did that for years. But yeah, I pretty much just throw spaghetti at the wall.
Okay, so just again, anything that comes your way, you're willing to audition for
Yeah.
it. I mean, that's kind of what you got to do, right? Because I mean, you
never
mentioned
know.
you hear no more than you hear yes, so you might as well audition for everything.
And there's so much out there too. Like you never know, like what. Like you don't necessarily have time to like fully like research what the project is about, and sometimes there's not a whole lot of information. So, like there are times when we've gotten to be involved in projects that, you know, maybe we had no idea what it was about, but it turned out to be so fantastic and cool. And then there were times that it was really sold to us that it was going to be amazing, and it was like, oh, okay, well that happened. You know, like you just never know.
Okay. Do you guys have any? Because you know you're in a lot of anime. Do you have any anime that you're not in that you enjoy to watch? If you could just name one.
I as a director watch a lot of stuff. So in preparation for what I'm about to direct, so I don't really watch outside stuff that isn't mine or that I'm not directing. But I will say, sometimes I take on a project that I was never involved in to begin with, and then I really, really enjoy it. And right now, I'm directing season 3 of Spy Family.
Oh, wow.
And so I got to watch in preparation for all of that, and I loved it. It was so cute and so good. And like I said, I had an opportunity to act in that, but never really watched it all. But y'all, it's such a cute show. I love Spy Family.
Awesome. Same question for you, Brittney.
I generally don't watch. I like a lot of, it's hard for me to sit down and actually watch TV. So if it's like crime, I'll watch it. But I guess we did sit down and watch Princess Mononoke because it's just good.
Yeah.
It's just so good. And the voice acting for how old that is so good. Which knowing like back then, that's before, like we did we redubbed for the Blu-ray release about 10 years, 20 years, I don't know, something crazy like that for Vampire Hunter D. And it was crazy because there's no elements, there's no M&Es, there's not, like, and what we have now is so different. And you know, back in the day, we had to, and I remember recording when it was just all on this giant soundboard and you had to time it perfect. Like you couldn't, there was no Pro Tools to put it in place.
Right.
And now, like Sentai, that same studio, ADV Sentai, like you just chase things. They just make that work. I don't, like, you do one take. It's a cold read.
Yeah.
I don't even see the character. They don't even barely tell me anything about it. I'm just like, oh, okay, she looks like this. All right, and then I just chase it. And then they're like, oh, that's good.
See, yeah, that kind of goes back to one of my original questions about how technology has changed and it's become a lot easier to put these shows together a lot faster. The turnaround time is really fast. Do you find a lot of pressure trying to keep up with that schedule, especially with, you know, dubbing being like having to happen like as the show is going around, you have to do it on the spot? Is it a lot more pressure now than when you first got started?
It is very, very fast paced, and at times it can feel stressful to get it all done. But at the end of the day, like you remember, I get to make cartoons. Like, I don't know. And there is a massive support system from the producers to the script adapters to the translators. Like, there's a lot of people working on it, on a huge team of people working on it. But I mean, that's not to say that, like, I don't want to be dishonest. Like, it can be stressful sometimes to feel like you can fit what you need to fit in, like, that week to get that episode done. Yeah.
I can imagine that being really, I mean, I know that's so hard because sometimes you guys have so many shows at once and it's like, oh, that's got to be insane. I don't feel like in the booth that pressure, but I will say sometimes it's like it rains, it pours kind of thing. Like sometimes you have no work and you're just stagnant, and then sometimes it all comes at one time and you're like, how do I figure out how to do this 28 hours of this audiobook in 3 weeks, but also drive up to Dallas, but also work at Sentai, but also record these 2 video games, and I physically don't have the actual time, but it doesn't happen very often, and mostly it's just because I'm jamming in an audiobook. It's not because of anime video game work being such a plethora, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, so as we wind down, because we are coming down to the end of this panel here, just 2 quick things that I wanted to ask you before we go. The first being, you know, as voice actors, I wanted to know if you wanted to introduce Fairy Tail to someone who hasn't seen it for the first time, what's something that you would try to convince them, or how would you get them to watch it?
I don't know. Like, I guess I would hope that they have an interest in anime in general, because people that don't, I think it's harder to convince. But I don't know how. That's an interesting question. I don't know. I think I would just kind of tell them what it's about and tell them that there are fun adventures and there's talking cats and there's magic, and I don't know. All those things appeal to me, so hopefully my enthusiasm would spill over and make them excited enough to want to see at least a few episodes.
There you go.
I think I would just say it feels good. It makes you feel good. And it's something you can bond with your family over.
That's a great answer.
You know?
All right, that's
Watch
perfect.
it with your grandma.
There you go.
Like, yeah.
And I guess the last question for me is going to be, do you have any projects that are coming up that you're allowed to speak about that we can look forward to seeing you in, or anything that you're working on that's going to be coming out that we can look forward to?
Well, like I said, I'm directing Spy Family Season 3 right now. I'm also directing, this is one of those fun titles I was telling you about, which is called My Status as an Assassin Obviously Exceeds the Heroes.
Wow.
I know. And then I'm acting in this one show that the title is kind of difficult because like some of the words are like asterisks, like bleeped out kind of in a funny way, but it's like Wachore-kun's asterisk is about to collapse. We're doing the second core of that right now. I play Suzu, the main character's little sister. She's so fun and sassy. I'm continuing the One Piece Egghead arc as Atlas, if you're into One Piece. And then the other stuff I guess I have to say tight-lipped about, but there's some exciting stuff that I'm doing. It's fun.
Awesome. And Brittney, same question.
We have the movie from that time I got reincarnated as a slime coming out soon. None of these have confirmed dubs, I'm just hoping. But that is coming out in February 2026, hoping that it gets a dub. And then the new season of Slime is coming out in December, hopefully it gets a dub. We apparently next year there's a new railgun coming out.
What?
A new railgun.
Stop.
Hopefully it gets a dub.
Oh my gosh.
Shangri-La Frontiers getting a third season. We don't have a date. Hopefully it gets a dub. So all of these things I'm looking forward to, hoping that I get a dub, but I don't know if we're getting a dub because we would find out like a week. Like it would already be out in Japan and then they tell you.
Yeah.
Right.
So we won't know. I have some video game things coming out. I have some new Sentai titles coming out, and I'm working right now on Tales of Wedding Rings at Crunchyroll, second season.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to all of that, of course, and thank you so much for being here with me and being with us this weekend. If you have a question, didn't get to ask it here, please go visit them at their table. They're here for the rest of the day. Can we get a big round of applause for our guests, Jade Saxton and Brittney Karbowski? Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Guys. Thanks for chilling.
All right.
With us.
Well, that's our time. Please enjoy the rest of your weekend here at Animate X Nightmare Weekend. Bye, everyone.